By Sri Lanka's best internet package for online learning and online working with many amazing offers. Call 1212 for more information. Sri Lanka Telecom.
ලෙන්ගතුකම වැඩි කරගන්න ලව්ජු රුපියල් 50ට අඩු කළා.
මාමේ එන්න අපිට එකක් බොමු.
Tonight, suspicious intentions. Easter Commission orders mobile phone and laptop of ex-SIS chief to be taken into custody. The road to leadership. Ruwan Vijayawardena beats Ravi Karunanayaka to the UNP deputy leadership. Interesting times. CSC chairman expresses positive expectations of Sri Lanka's post-COVID-19 bounce back.
The tourism sector is doing extremely well, it has bounced back, and now we're starting to see foreign investors who exited the market are starting to get beyond the buying side.
Cutting the congestion. Bus priority lane system comes back with a bang as first day of new rules comes into effect across 4 crucial routes. Not the best homecoming. Sri Lanka's 13th COVID-19 death reported today. He had tested negative on arrival. All that and much more coming up on First at 9. This Monday, the 14th of September, 2020.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9.
Nava sunlight sakura. Then Dikukal pavathina sakura mal suandin.
Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Dhammik Ekanaika. Let's start with your local stories. Former Director of State Intelligence, Senior DIG Nilantha Jayawardena today presented to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter Sunday terror attacks an audio recording of a telephone conversation between former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando and himself following the attacks. After the recording was played, the ex-State Intelligence Chief's personal mobile phone and laptop computer were ordered to be taken into custody to check for any other recordings and to determine whether such recordings have been edited in any way.
Former State Intelligence Service Director Nilantha Jayawardena appeared before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry for his 22nd day of testimony. The chairman of the Presidential Commission directed the witness to present to the commission recorded telephone conversations between him and former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando that he had claimed to have in his possession during his earlier testimonies. To this, the witness's legal representative objected and requested that such recordings be played in the absence of media personnel. However, the commission rejected the attorney's request and ordered that the recordings be played before the open commission. Before playing the recording, the witness told the commission that the 25-minute telephone conversation took place sometime between the last week of April and the first week of May after the Easter Sunday terror attacks. The following is a translation of the conversation.
Sir, the issue is with regards to your statement that we knew about it, but didn't expect it to be this serious, because even I never made any statements.
All right, you say that you informed me. I had already informed the IGP by then.
When I informed you on the 7th, you replied saying, well received.
But now the problem here is that the President wasn't informed.
I wasn't asked whether the President was informed. The newspapers are making an issue about the President not being informed. Anyway, I never told him.
Okay, neither you nor I informed him.
Now the President wasn't in the country on the 20th. In that situation, I should have informed the Prime Minister. I didn't inform him either. That doesn't constitute a dereliction of duty. This won't be a big issue. It is the newspapers that are making it a big issue. This is really a political issue.
Mistakes can happen to anyone. Now they are planning on arresting me. I have resigned as Defence Secretary.
We compiled 3 reports after the IGP was informed on the 9th and after Zahran's explosives dry run in Kattankudi. I told them on the 20th evening as well. I asked them to check in Panchikavatta and Kochikade too. I also told them that hotels were being targeted. Not one of them can claim to not have had any knowledge of this. I realised this was a problem from the 7th onwards.
You should have told me back then to order the IGP to take specific action.
So I didn't tell them that Colombo would be attacked. I gave them specific information. In any case, I don't think you needed to have instructed the IGP to set up roadblocks. However, there is a slight issue regarding the president not having been informed. Anyway, despite us not having told them then, we had kept them informed of the big picture since 2015.
At least considering our friendship, had you told me, I would have told him and had a statement issued through the police media spokesman Ruwan Gunasekara. They would have stated that churches were being targeted and that there was a threat of such an attack. If that happened, then we would have been spared.
What has happened now is that everyone thinks we didn't do anything. A lot of people are taking political advantage of this. I feel we should have placed more emphasis on this at the meeting on the 9th. Even though Chula says no, I told him, and despite him being a brigadier, I say go and investigate this.
He didn't mention Zaran even once. He always speaks of unrelated topics. He only talks of information after reading the newspapers.
Chula says he didn't know anything, but he was there at the Tuesday meeting. Cicera Mendes asked me as to what we should do about this document. I told him don't be crazy, this is a big problem, and to take it up at the meeting.
Meanwhile, when the recording ended, the Additional Solicitor General at the Commission asked the former State Intelligence Chief what his intentions were behind recording the conversation. In response, the witness stated that the telephone conversation was recorded because he needed evidence to protect himself and the State Intelligence Service, as a number of parties had accused them of not having informed the relevant parties at the time. The witness was then asked by the Commission chairman whether he possessed any other recordings of telephone conversations. The ex-State Intelligence Chief replied that in addition to a recording of a conversation submitted confidentially to the Commission earlier, he possessed another recording stored on his laptop computer. The Commission chairman then ordered the witness to hand over his personal mobile phone and laptop to the Presidential Commission with immediate effect for further investigations to be carried out. The chairman also instructed the Commission's secretary to forward the compact disc containing audio recordings and the witness's mobile phone and laptop to the government analyst after inspection by the Commission's police unit to determine if they had been edited. Following this, the personal mobile phone and laptop used at the time of the Easter attacks by the former State Intelligence Service Director were handed over to the police unit in the afternoon by his spouse. Meanwhile, former ministers Rishad Batiuddin and Abdul Halim also recorded statements with the Presidential Commission's police unit today.
Now, in a measure targeting the massive traffic congestion in the city of Colombo and its suburbs, the previously implemented bus priority lane system was put in place from this morning along 4 crucial routes into the city. The new system will also utilize drone cameras and CCTV footage to monitor and take action against reckless drivers violating traffic laws.
The Kandy Colombo Road, the Nigambo Chilav Road, the Gaul Road, High Level Road and the Parliament Road are the 5 main roadways leading into the Colombo metropolis and account for over 500,000 vehicles entering the city each day. Recent data shows that with such a large amount of vehicular traffic passing through them, the average speed along these routes has slowed down to a mere 25 km per hour. Further, reckless driving has also been highlighted as a major contributor to the heavy congestion and resultant low vehicular speeds. With that being the case, the bus priority lane system was re-implemented from this morning, targeting Sri Javadanapura Mawata, Baseline Road, High Level Road and the Gaul Road to bring some semblance of order to the daily commutes of thousands of office workers. This morning, police personnel were seen ensuring that drivers were made fully aware of the new system.
Use the proper lane while saving your precious time, wealth and life. A kind request from Traffic Police.
Accordingly, the new priority lane system will continue to remain in effect from today along routes such as the Polluva Junction in Sri Javadanapura Kotte, the Ayurveda Junction, Castle Street, Horton Place, the Horton Place Roundabout, the Liberty Roundabout and across Ananda Kumaraswamy Mawata. Further, the system will also be enforced along Baseline Road from the New Kalani Bridge to the High Level Road Baseline Road Junction. This will also include the route beginning from Anula Vidyalaya on High Level Road and continue past Sri Sambuddhatva Jayanti Mawata, the Tumulla Roundabout, Thurston Road, Sir Marcus Fernando Mawata, the Public Library Junction, Ananda Kumaraswamy Mawata, the Flower Road Junction and up to the Dharmapala Mawata Junction. The same will apply along the Gaul Road beginning from the William Grinding Mills Junction in Devala, the Gorface Roundabout and up to the NSA Roundabout. With today being the first day of the new system, errant drivers were seen being let off with warnings by traffic police officers on duty along these routes. Further, the assistance of the Sri Lanka Air Force was also incorporated during the process in order to build awareness among commuters. In addition, drone cameras and CCTV footage will be used to monitor traffic and take action against drivers violating the new rules.
විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ අතුරු මාර්ග වලින් සහ ආයතන වලින් වාහන විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් ඇතුල් කරද්දී ඒ අවහිරතාවය වෙනවා ප්‍රධාන මාර්ගයේ ලේන් එකට. ඔන්න ඔය වගේ ප්‍රශ්න නිසා තමයි මේක පොඩි ගැටලුවක් ඇති වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ ලේන් මාරු කරනවා මම දැන් ඔක්කොම බලාගෙන ආවේ. ඒ නිසා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ අයව ඉස්සරහට පොලිසි මට්ටමින් ක්ලාස් දීලා හරි ඒකට ගෙනල්ලා හරි ඩිසිප්ලින් කරන්න ඕන. දැන් මේ දවස් තුනම කිසිම දඩ ගැසීමක් නඩු දැමීමක් කිසි දෙයක් කරෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේක පියදුරන්ව දැනුවත් කරන ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් වෙලිවලා. අපි බලනවා වෙලා මේගොල්ලන් කොහොමද මේක දක්වන්නේ ප්‍රතිචාරය කියලා ඉවරලා. ඊට පස්සේ යම්කිසි කාල සීමාවක් හුරුුණාට පස්සේ නීතිය අදින් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා මේ නියමිත ලේන් එක යන්නේ.
A discussion on the future course of action to be followed with regards to the oil tanker MT New Diamond was held today under the chairmanship of Attorney General Dappula Dilivera. The General Manager of Marine Environment Protection Authority, Dr. Tony Pradeep Kumar, said that he believes they will be able to resolve the issues with regard to the stricken vessel by means of discussion and that legal action would only be as a last resort.
Following the Colombo Chief Magistrate's order to obtain samples of oil from the cargo supertanker MT New Diamond, a team of 9 persons boarded the vessel today. The Marine Environment Protection Authority, the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and the police were represented in the team. In the meantime, a discussion was held today on the future course of action with regards to the tanker, chaired by the Attorney General. The Sri Lanka Navy, the Coast Guard, the Department of Coast Conservation, the Marine Environment Protection Authority, the Merchant Shipping Secretariat of the Ministry of Ports and Shipping were party to the talks. Meanwhile, the reports on seawater samples obtained to ascertain the source of the leak which caused the oil slick seen in the vicinity of the stricken vessel will be submitted to the Marine Environment Protection Authority tomorrow. It is uncertain whether the slick is caused by a fuel leakage of the oil tanker or by a leakage of its cargo. General Manager of the Marine Environment Protection Authority, Dr. Tony Pradeep Kumar, spoke to media after the meeting.
මේ නැව සම්බන්ධව තියෙන අපේ ලබා ගන්න තියෙන රක්ෂණ ආවරණ සහය වගේම තියෙන අපි වේදන් කර මුදල් ලබා ගන්න කෙසේද ඒ වගේම මේ නැව ලංකාවට තියාගන්නද ගන්නද එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ නැව අපේ වෙරළ කලාපයේ ඉවතට යන සාකච්ඡා වුණා. මීට අදාළ තව වාර්තා කී අපි ලැබිය යුතුයි. ඉතින් ඒ වාර්තා ලැබුණ වහාම අනිවාර්යෙන් මීට අදාළ තීරණ ගැනීමට නියමිතයි. ඒ සියලු දේම මේ නියෝජිත ආයතන සමග සාකච්ඡා කළා. මුලින් සාකච්ඡා මට විශ්වාස ගන්න බලනවා. බැරිනොතින් තමයි අවශ්‍ය නඩුවල් කටයුතු වල නමුත් සාකච්ඡා මට විශ්වාස ගන්න පුළුවන් කියලා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා.
We will see you shortly after this break. Stay with us.
Enjoy a very smooth shave with the Bic Easy 2 razor. Bic Easy 2.
Welcome back. You're watching First at 9. Now, a merchant seaman who arrived back in Sri Lanka on the 2nd of September and was in quarantine has died at the District General Hospital in Chilau after being admitted for treatment. PCR tests conducted after his death have confirmed him to be COVID-19 positive, making him the country's 13th death. The victim, however, had not tested positive upon arrival in the country.
Sri Lanka recorded its 13th COVID-19 fatality today, marking 22 days since the country's 12th COVID-19 victim was reported on the 23rd of August. Chief Epidemiologist of the Epidemiology Unit, Dr. Sudat Samaravira, confirmed today that the patient who passed away this afternoon at the District General Hospital in Chilau was COVID-19 positive. The victim was identified as a 60-year-old seaman who had returned to the country from Bahrain on the 2nd of September. However, upon his arrival, he did not test positive for the COVID-19 virus. The seaman was admitted to the District General Hospital in Chilau on the 9th of September while he was undergoing quarantine.
සැප්තැම්බර් 2 වෙනිදා මැද පෙරදිග සිට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට පැමිණි නාවික නිරෝධායන මධ්‍යස්ථානයක නිරෝධායනය වෙමින් පවතින විට අසනීප වීම නිසා සැප්තැම්බර් 9 වෙනිදා හලාවත මහරුවලට ඇතුළත් කිරීමෙන් පසු ඔහු ඊයේ මිය ගියා. ඔහුගේ මිය යාමෙන් පසු කරපු PCR පරීක්ෂණ වලින් තහවුරු වෙලා තියෙනවා ඔහුට COVID-19 රෝගය වැළඳී තියෙනවායි කියලා. එය COVID-19 13 වෙනි මරණය විදිහට අපේ රට තුල සිදුවෙච්ච වාර්තා වෙනවා. මේ දක්වා රෝගීන් 13 දෙනාගෙන් එක රෝගියෙක් කරෙන්නම අනිත් සියලුම දෙනාට වෙනත් නිදංගත රෝග තිබුණා. මේ රෝගියාටත් නිදංගත රෝග තිබුණා. හෘදයාබාධයකින් මිය ගිය බවට තමයි අපි සැක කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ තත්ත්වයේ යටතේදී බොහෝ වෙලාවට වැඩිහිටි වයසේ සිටින නිදංගත රෝග සහ වෙනත් ආබාධ තියෙන අයට තමයි COVID-19 රෝගේ දක්වා ඒක යන්නේ.
Moving on with other stories, former State Minister of Defence Ruwan Wijewardena is the new deputy leader of the United National Party following a secret ballot by the members of the party's working committee today. Garnering 28 votes to 10, Wijewardena beat Ravi Karunanayake to the position. Speaking to media, Wijewardena stated that he looks forward to entering the fray for the bigger prize, the coveted post of leader of the United National Party. The working committee meeting of the United National Party was held today at the party headquarters, Sirikota. The meeting was held to decide between two candidates for the post of deputy leader of the UNP, namely Ruwan Wijewardena and Ravi Karunanayake. Following a secret ballot, Ruwan Wijewardena emerged the winner after polling 28 votes to 10 and a lead of 18 votes.
මම කිව්වා මේ පක්ෂය සියලු දෙනා එකමුතුකමින් මේ තනතුරු සඳහා තෝරාපත් කර ගැනීම කරන්න බෙදීමකින් තොරව කියලා. නමුත් සමහර අයගේ තිබිච්ච යම් යම් අදහස් නිසා ඡන්දයක් විමසනු ලැබුවා. ඒ ඡන්දය අනුව රුවන් නියෝජනයක හැටියට තෝරාපත් කරගත්තා.
At the end of the meeting, supporters of Ruwan Wijewardena gathered in front of Sirikota to welcome him and celebrate his victory.
සතුරුයි අද කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලයේ බහුතරයක් මං ගැන විශ්වාසය තියලා මාව පත් කෙරුවා පක්ෂයේ නියෝජනායක හැටියට පාක්ෂිකයන්ගේ විශ්වාසය ආපහු දිනාගෙන මේ පක්ෂය නිසි තැනට ගේන්නට තමයි මගේ එකම චේතනාව. ඔබතුමාට නියෝජනායක සම්බන්ධව ලැබුණා වගේම ලබන අවුරුදු ජනවාරි මුල නායකත්වය ලැබෙයිද බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙනවා. ඉදිරියේදී නායකත්වයටත් ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්න මම බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙනවා.
The Colombo Magistrates Court today, or more like court, issued a warrant for the arrest of drug racketeer Udara Sampath. He is the 14th suspect in the case of 13 officers of the Police Narcotic Bureau being involved with drug racketeers. Meanwhile, the 13 PNB officers in custody were further remanded until the 22nd of September. With that, let's take a look at the latest on Sri Lanka's war on drugs and the underworld.
The case pertaining to the 13 Police Narcotic Bureau officers over their alleged involvement with drug racketeers was taken up before the Colombo Magistrates Court today. During the hearing, appearing for the Criminal Investigation Department, Deputy Solicitor General Dilip Piris said that investigations are underway on drug racketeer Udara Sampath, the 14th suspect named in the case, who is currently in hiding in Dubai. The Deputy Solicitor General added that information had been received that Udara Sampath had operated the drug racket by setting up a mass communication network using 55 SIM cards obtained from a local telecommunication company. Afterwards, Colombo Additional Magistrate Priyantha Liyanage issued warrants for the arrest of drug racketeer Udara Sampath. The Deputy Solicitor General went on to say that 12 more officers attached to the Police Narcotics Bureau are also interrogated under detention orders, apart from 13 PNB officers named in the case. He noted that further investigations are being carried out into the suspect's assets accumulated with ill-gotten gains under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Accordingly, the Colombo Additional Magistrate ordered to further remand the suspects until the 22nd of this month. In the meantime, the Migoda police arrested Anna Sivatte Amila with 5 grams of heroin in his possession during a special search operation conducted in the area of Panalua last evening. Elsewhere in Valipanna, criminal Kamal Arunashanta alias Army Kamal was arrested by police with 10 grams of heroin, 2 army uniforms and 2 mobile phones in his possession during a special search operation conducted following a tip-off. The arrested suspect had used heroin with his son at the time of his arrest. However, his son had escaped. Army Kamal was a wanted criminal by police over several crimes. Meanwhile, in Harliela, the Harliela Traffic Police arrested a 30-year-old suspect with 100 packets of heroin in his possession while travelling in a bus from Colombo to Badulla. The suspect had concealed the packets of heroin around his thighs. In the meantime, officers of the Galle Police Headquarters arrested a woman with 10.56 grams of heroin during a search operation to crack down on drug racketeers in the Galle town. In another development, the Atharugiriya police arrested the uncle of organised criminal gang member Ladia with 2 of his accomplices during a search operation. The police also seized 3 buses owned by Ladia from the possession of the suspects, and it was revealed that the income earned from the buses in question had been deposited into a bank account belonging to Ladia's spouse. In a separate development, the Mahabaghe police arrested a suspect while transporting 9 kilograms of Kerala cannabis in a 3-wheeler during a search operation conducted in Balagala in Vattala. Furthermore, the police also found that approximately 10 million rupees had been transacted via the suspect's bank account. Meanwhile, senior DIG in charge of the Western Province, Deshabandhu Tenakun, commented on the current crackdown on drug racketeers.
ජාවාරංකාරයෝ 100 දෙනෙක්ගේ විතරක් මුදල් ගණනු කරලා තියෙන දේවල් account අහු වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ account 102 විතරක් අවුරුදු දෙකකදී මිලියන 2600ක් සල්ලි සංසරණය වෙලා. මුදල් විශුද්ධීකරණ පනත යටතේ මද්ද්‍රව්‍ය ජාවාරම් කරුවන් විසින් ඉපයූ මුදල් නිවාස දේපල යාන වාහන යනාදී සියලු දේපල රාජසන්ත කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන කටයුතු සූදානම් කරගන්න.
In the meantime, the Department of Prison says that the hunger strike launched by 45 inmates of the Busa prison last Thursday has been called off.
බූස බන්ධනාගාරයේ රඳවා සිටින විශේෂ ගණයේ රැඳවියන් අද දින ඔවුන් විසින් සිදු කරගෙන ගියපු ආහාර වර්ජනය අවසන් කරා. ඒ අනුව ඔවුන් අද දින උදෑසන ආහාරය ලබා ගැනීමට කටයුතු කරා. විශේෂයෙන් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඉල්ලීම් තිබුණේ ආරක්ෂාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි අරගෙන තිබ්බ පියවරල් සම්බන්ධයෙන් වන ඉල්ලීම්. ඉතින් ඒවා අපිට කිසිසේත් ඉටු කිරීමට හැකියාවක් තිබෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි වරින් වර ඔවුන්ට කරුණු පැහැදිලි කරලා දුන්නා. කෙසේ වෙතත් ඒගොල්ලෝ අධිකාරීතුමාගෙන් ඉල්ලා තියෙනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ දුක් ගැනවිලි කීපයක් තියෙනවා ඒක ලිඛිතව දැනුම් දෙන්න කටයුතු කරනවා කියලා. ඒ අනුව අපි ඉදිරියේදී බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා යම්කිසි මානුෂීය වශයෙන් යම්කිසි ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි ඒක ඒගොල්ලන්ට පහසුකම් සලසන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
We will see you shortly. Bear with us.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with a heart.
Welcome back. This is First at 9. Now, Sri Lanka Medical Council says that they have reconsidered the delisting of 3 Russian state universities that offered medical scholarships to Sri Lankan students from the approved list. Its chairman, Professor Harendra De Silva, stated that a special meeting to discuss this matter will be held at the SLMC on Wednesday. The decision to delist these universities was taken, stating the degree programs the Russian institutions in question offer are not up to the standards set by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. People's Friendship University of Russia, Pirogov Russian National Research Medical University and the Tver State Medical University were delisted. The Russian government annually offers scholarships to 40 students from Sri Lanka, and 5 of them have been awarded medical scholarships this year. The delegation of the European Union to Sri Lanka says that it is funding 9 capacity building projects in the island this year through the Erasmus Plus program. 15 universities are participating in the capacity building for higher education projects. Head of Cooperation at the EU delegation, Frank Hess, said that education, research and development are key EU priorities for its external relations with partner countries such as Sri Lanka, and that higher education institutions play a key role in advancing societies. He explained that Erasmus Plus offers a broad range of funding opportunities which allows university staff, including academic and administrative staff, to benefit from capacity building for higher education projects. Chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange, Dumit Fernando, expects better returns from the tourism sector and to post good corporate earnings in the coming quarters, saying that many areas of the economy has bounced back from the COVID-19 impacts. The CSE said yesterday that the market has seen many advances on various fronts, indicating a noteworthy turnaround. Speaking first at 9 today, the chairman of the CSE added that low interest rates are driving investors into the market, while foreign investors who exited emerging markets are also now returning.
The Colombo stock market said it recorded a noteworthy turnaround in the recent months since it reopened in May after a prolonged closure driven by the COVID-19 pandemic. It noted that the market reported progress in many fronts, with some being the S&P SL20 index recording a 21.15% gain since market reopened, and the year-to-date daily average turnover being the highest since 2014 with 1.35 billion rupees. To get an understanding into the reasons behind the progress, First at 9 spoke to Chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange, Dumit Fernando.
What we have had so far since the bottom of the market, we've had the market go up about almost 30%. Also since the shutdown of the market in March 20th, the markets are up a little over 20%. What is important to understand is that the market still is one of the cheapest markets around the region. So it's trading at a slight discount to book value. And why do we feel that this is undeserved and that there is more upside in the market? Of course, we all know that Sri Lanka has been one of the countries countries with best management of the COVID-19 situation. With that, we are also seeing the bounce back of the economy. So most areas of the economy, the tourism sector is doing extremely well. It has bounced back quite well, and so we expect good corporate earnings over the next few quarters. On top of that, we have seen interest rates going down very significantly over the last few months. So if you look at the approximate one-year deposit rate at a bank for a fixed deposit now, you're getting roughly about 5 or 5.5%. This barely beats inflation, so your real return actually could be negative on that. So equity markets with dividend yields of about 3%, as well as the valuation upside, given that the starting valuations have been low, have been a destination for a lot of savvy investors to come and generate better returns this year. With that, we've seen the market volumes more than double what it was last year. We've also seen that there are a very large number of new investors who've been coming into the market, and now we're starting to see the foreign investors who exited the market, as they did with all frontier and emerging markets, are starting to get beyond the buying side as well. So I do believe that there is still a positive outlook for equity markets, and this could be a fairly good investment return that one could expect by participating now.
And now to give you market updates, Sri Lankan shares ended higher for a fifth straight session today, driven by gains in industrial and consumer stocks. The benchmark CSE All Share Price Index closed up 0.95% at 5,490.6, while the index gained 2.4% last week. The more liquid S&P SL20 index closed 23.53 points up at 2,382.77. Market turnover was 2.28 billion rupees, while 129 stocks gained and 62 fell. Now here's a brief report on today's market performance.
Today the market surged by 51 points with strong buying interest coming out of local investors. The SPI gained 51 points, while the S&P SL20 also gained by 23 points, with buying interest coming mainly into blue chip counters as the market gained for the fourth consecutive day. Turnover levels surged to a 6-month high as the market reached 2.3 billion rupees of turnover. Turnover was mainly retail driven, as we saw about close to 20,000 trades today taking place, with limited number of crossings coming into play. On the foreign front, the selling pressure continued to be there even today. We saw a foreign outflow of around 70 million rupees. The buying interest was quite significant today compared to the last 1 week, where there was a slow build-up of buying interest from locals. Today we saw a strong trend emerge, which we feel that could trend towards the next few days as well.
Now the Sri Lankan rupee closed stronger at 184 rupees and 10 to 30 cents against the US dollar today, while bond yields remained unchanged after Friday's bond auction. The rupee ended at 184 rupees and 45 to 55 cents against the greenback on Friday. Now let's take a look at how the Sri Lankan rupee traded against other major currencies during the day. And that's it from all of us here at First at 9. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.